the reason why Android is better in one very crucial way. Because take your mind back to when Android phones were first coming out to the ones that were released even into like the very early 2020s. Because in that period of time, it was so normal for most phone companies to only support their Android phones for like maybe 2 or at the most 3 years of major software updates. Whereas even in the early 2010s, iPhones were being supported for at least 5, 6 or even 7 years, and this was always kind of the standard, especially from the 2010s onwards. Android software version longevity was so bad, especially in the early 2010s, where you could feasibly go into a store and buy a brand new Android phone that was like late into its product cycle or just a generation behind the new one, and from the point you bought the phone, you would never receive a brand new version of Android for that phone. While around the same time, you could buy like a 2 or 3 year old iPhone and still expect to get like 3 or 4 more years of major iOS updates because the phone would just be supported for that much longer. And this is also kind of the reason why iPhones have historically tended to have and still continue to have better resale value for phones compared to Android phones that were released in the exact same year, because they're just supported for longer. At least they were until now. Because now it seems like Android phone companies are actually taking software support seriously, because now a lot of vendors actually support like 5, 6, or in the case of Google and Samsung, 7 years of software updates. And I think it's so clear that if Apple hadn't been consistently good in terms of giving iPhones as much support as possible over the years, that Android phone companies wouldn't really have the incentive to provide the same for their users. And because of all this, basically everyone is better off now, because if you buy a brand new mid-range or flagship smartphone from a major Android smartphone manufacturer, the years of software updates you're going to get is most likely going to exceed the years you're actually going to use the device, which is exactly how it should be.